My name is Femi Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of Sourcing Business. Sourcing Business is an online platform where freelancers and employers of labor are able to connect in order to exchange value. The platform gives freelancers opportunity to be able to create their gigs, showcasing what they can offer to organizations, the solutions they can provide, and especially services they can offer, virtually. Startups are actually looking for skilled professionals like these who are able to help them deliver their job, cheaper, who are able to help them deliver their job faster, and who are able to help them deliver their job with better quality. And these are the capabilities that you found in Freelancers. And so Sourcing Business provides a platform where such people are able to offer their gigs so that startups and small business owners around the world can be able to access them to be able to buy their services. On Sourcing Business, we'll
Hi, good morning, and welcome to Upskilling 5 million African freelancers in 5 years. It's great to be here. It's another Wednesday morning, and my name is Oge Mark. I'm glad to be here. Now, of course, you know what we do on Upskilling 5 million African freelancers in 5 years. Our goal is to upskill and help you acquire more skills, new skill, and of course to help you become much more marketable in the freelancing space. And that's what we do here. And of course, this is put together, empowered by Sourcing Business. Now, every week we run, series where we'll talk about everything in the freelancing space, the different aspects. And today we're talking about content writing in the search engine optimization view. And we have a guest in the studio who would be talking to us, who's vastly experienced, who will be talking to us about search engine optimization. And so what I need you to do is I need you to drop your questions and your comment if you have any of them in the comment section, and our guest will respond to them. And I also want you to share the link. We are live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, and we're live on LinkedIn. So I want you to share the link wherever you are, everywhere. You constantly plaster it all over on your WhatsApp status, on Facebook status, your Facebook post, your Instagram page, wherever. Just plaster it and invite everyone. Now, this event is absolutely, as a matter of fact, when it comes to freelancing, especially upscaling 5 million, all of the courses and all of the things offered by Sourcing Business is actually free. So whether you're upscaling, you're learning a new skill, or you want to upload your gig on Sourcing Business website so that you can have access to employers who would want to hire you for your skill, whatever it is that you want to do, then Sourcing Business is ready to offer you that opportunity. All you just have to do is to go on the website and register whatever package that you would like. Okay. Now we have our guest today, in person of Chineye Favor. Hello, good morning. How are you?
Morning, I'm fine. And you?
I'm great. It's good to be here. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's just get into what we have today. So tell us, just let our listeners meet you. Let us introduce yourself to us. Let us know who you are and what you do.
You actually introduced me. I'm Chineye Favor O. That's Okechi. I'm an English language and literature lecturer, and I also double as the content writer and social media manager for Impressionera. That's a tech company in Port Harcourt. I actually work remote from Enugu. I'm presently in Enugu, so I work remote from Enugu. So that's, and then I also do my freelancing business.
We missed that. You said you work with what?
I said I am an English language and literary studies lecturer. Okay. And then I also double as a content writer and a social media manager for Impressionera. That's actually a tech company in Port Harcourt. But I work remote, so I work in Enugu, and then I also do my freelancing as well.
So how did you launch career. I mean, this is so interesting. You have a regular 9 to 5, we call it a regular 9 to 5, and you also are a content writer and a content creator for different brands. How are you able to launch your career and launch yourself into the freelancing space? How did you do
Okay.
that?
Well, I wouldn't say that I actually launched my career. I would say that freelancing actually found me. Yes, because in 2018, yes, it found me. In 2018, I was lecturing. I was in Oshogbo. I was in Adeleke University then, and I just stumbled on a post on Facebook about needing writers. So I was like, well, I can write. I've been writing since primary school, so I was like, okay, I can do this. So why not give it a try? So that was how I actually started. But the workload was too much, lecturing and then writing. And freelancing, content writing takes a lot of time, takes a lot of research before you start writing. So I had to quit freelancing then. But something happened. 2021, that was last year. That was why I said freelance writing. Freelance writing actually found me. In 2021, a friend of mine actually contacted me for a freelance writing project. And that was just how I started again. I just said, okay, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. And that was how I started.
Wow. Let us welcome some people who are joining us. Ajay Blessing, thank you so much for joining. Nafiu Salihu, thank you. Emmanuel, I see you. Salihu, is there a problem? You said that it shows for. Okay, Salihu, I think it's your connection, because on this side it's great on this side, so I believe it's your connection. So you might want to either restart your device, or I don't know why you're saying that. And I hope that you're following the correct link. I hope you're following the correct link. I hope you're following the correct link. Okay. Can we please have the link to the video afterwards? For you to have access to the video afterwards, you must be following Sourcing Business on social media. Okay. You must be following Sourcing Business on social media to have access to the link afterwards. I mean, it would be posted on LinkedIn. You're following them, but it's better for you to watch it live. It's better that way. Okay, so let us move on. Okay. Oluwatobi is also saying we can't see. No video. Really? No video. Okay.
I think it's from their network.
I think it's your connection, really. I think it's your connection. It must be your connection. I don't know what network you're using. Maybe Airtel or MTN or something. It might be you might want to restart your device so that you have access. Okay. All right. Let's go back to more questions. Now, you've mentioned that you've done all of this and you said, it found you. Now, can you tell us, we also know that you do search engine optimization, correct? Okay, so
Yes,
why that?
yes.
Why SEO? Why SEO? Why search engine optimization?
The joy or the dream of every writer is to have his or her work published on Google, and then it is ranking high, like it is topping the chart. So why would you write and then people would not read what you've written? So SEO is key. Like you said, the search engine optimization, in simple terms, it means the process of writing content with the aim of ranking on the first page of search engines like Google. So you wouldn't want to write a piece and what you've written is very nice and you feel that this is lovely, but people can't see it. So what is the essence of writing when people can't read what you've written? So SEO optimization or SEO writing is key in content writing. Once you want to venture into content writing, it has to be SEO optimized. Okay, so that was why when I started writing and then I heard when I started writing, I didn't even know the term SEO writing, because back then in 2018 we were just writing, but we were giving keywords quite all right, but I didn't even know what SEO was until I had to go for a training, and then that was when I learned what SEO actually means and what it does to whatever brand that you're working for, whatever content you've written, what SEO actually does for it.
Okay, so you mentioned about you talked about keywords, and you didn't know what the keywords were until you went for the training. So what are these keywords? Are they specific to certain niches? So tell us, what are these keywords?
Yes, actually, keywords are actually tailored to the particular topic or the niche you're actually writing on. Presently, I've been writing on cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and the rest. So once you want to write an article or you want to probably create a content, it has to be tailored to a particular topic. Let's take, for instance, cryptocurrency and blockchain. Now you want to know, okay, what are you going to write on? Are you going to write on NFTs? Are you going to write on metaverse? Are you going to write on gamify projects? So you have to tailor it down to a particular project. So once you're tailored down to a particular project or to a particular niche or to a particular topic, then you have to research the keywords in that particular niche. Now, like I said, if you're writing on cryptocurrencies and then you want to write on, let's take for instance, you want to write on a particular coin. We have this trending meme coin, free wallet coin. You have to search for other meme coins. You have to search for keywords that have other meme coins. So that keyword is actually the main thing that is going to rank whatever content you're writing. That's going to rank it very high. So keywords is very important. So I don't know if you would want to know the strategies for
Yes, I would like to know the strategies.
writing.
But before I go through the strategies, are there things that that you can write? I mean, you've mentioned the keywords in a particular niche that needs to show up on that particular article that you're writing about. Now, are there things or are there keywords that that can feature in that article or in that piece that would basically move your piece away from the gaze of a lot of people? Do you understand what I mean? Like, are there things that can show up on your piece and people would just not see that can jeopardize your SEO, the whole strategy in that particular piece? Are there things like that? Does that even exist?
Yes, it does. Let's take, for instance, you want to write on, I'll still use cryptocurrency as an example. Now you want to write on cryptocurrencies and you're comparing it with other things that are not related to cryptocurrency. Let's take, for instance, you start probably comparing it with the health niche or finance niche or entertainment. Now, what keyword does is this. It's human beings that actually go to search for content. So when someone searches for something on Google, it brings all the keywords that are related to that particular title or to that particular content. So once you derail from a particular keyword that you're supposed to use for that title or for that content, it automatically changes everything. People won't be able to find it on Google search. And once it does that, your content is not visible. People can't see whatever you've written. So that is how it works. So you must use the particular keywords that works with that title or that niche. So that's how it works.
Okay, is there a number? Is there a specific number? Like, is it that you can't do more than 5 or 10 per piece? Is it number specific?
Yes, you can actually use you can use from, let's say, from 3. You can use from 3 to maximum should be 6, 7. Maximum should be 7.
Okay.
Once your keywords is more than 10, once it's more than 10, it's actually so broad. Unless, but it depends on the form of content you're writing. We have short form content, we have long form writings. So once you're writing a content that is beyond 1,000 words or 2,000 words, you can have more keywords. Because these are long form content. Yes, I've written long form content that had over 30 keywords. But you don't
Okay.
just stuff them in into the content. Yes, you don't stuff them in into the content. You should know how to strategically use the keywords.
Okay. Now, since you
So
mentioned
that's how it
strategies,
works.
now what
Yeah.
are the strategies for Google ranking?
Okay. For Google rankings, first things first, I will
Yeah.
always say this: write for humans. Don't write for machines. Don't write for search engines. You should,
Okay.
as a writer, as a content writer, you should always try to make your content to be for humans. You know, most times people use AI apps to write. I'm not against using AI apps, okay?
Okay.
But after you have used that, make sure that you have that human touch in whatever you're writing. And for that to happen, and for Google to actually rank whatever content you've written, it must be high quality content. It must be high quality content, okay? So, and if you must give out high quality content, you
Sorry
have
to
to
interject right there. Sorry to interject right there. When you say high quality content, what do you mean by high quality? What's the definition of high quality content?
Yes, I'm about to explain that. I'm about to explain that. Okay. High
Okay.
quality content means content that are actually optimized. You need to write content that are optimized. You don't just write content that are shallow, or you don't write content that are filled with so much bluffs. That's what we call bluffs. You just write and then they are too wordy, they have a lot of errors and all that. So you have to write content that once someone reads that content, the person gets the entire message. You don't have to stuff in so much keywords and all that. Okay. So, and like I said earlier, you need to update your keyword strategy. Like, for instance, a content that you've written in January, we are in September now, there are some changes that might have happened. For instance, this Ethereum merge now, we have content that we've written before, and we're like, Ethereum is going to merge and all that. Now that Ethereum has actually merged, it's right that you go back to those content and update them. You go back to those content and update the keywords. That way, Google will continue to rank whatever content you've written very high. It will continue to be on the first page. Like I have content that I've written since August that are still on the first page of Google search. Once you go to Google search, they are still on the first page. In fact, they are the first ones you actually see. So you have to update your keywords. You have to target the right keyword. Like we said that before, you have to target for the right keyword, because once you're writing, we have what we call related searches. When you go to Google, you see some other searches that other readers are looking for. Go to those searches and then look at the content that you can actually pick from there and create content on that. We have other things that people ask for. Once you go to Google, you see them. Google will tell you that people are asking for so stuff. People are asking for something like this. Whenever you're creating content, also incorporate that to whatever content you're writing. That way, Google will continue to rank your content very high. And then I also mentioned optimizing your page. It's very simple. Once you're writing any content, make sure it has the title tag. Make sure it has the meta description. Meta description, you have to describe whatever thing you're writing. It could just be in 2 to 3 sentences, and that's it. That's the meta description. Then you should have the header tag, the H1, the H2s, the H3s. These are things that will optimize your content so
And
that
on
Google
these
will
header
actually.
tags and all these things, the keyword should feature on them, right?
Yes, the keywords should feature on them, but you don't stuff the keywords. It could just be one
Okay.
or two keywords. It could just be one
Okay.
keyword, or it
Okay.
can actually be. It could just be just the header. It's fine. Even if the keyword is not there, it's still okay.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so if you have any questions so far on what we are talking about, then you should drop your questions. Now, this one is coming from Ngozi Cynthia Iziaha, and she says that I'm really interested in learning content writing. Okay, Ngozi, on Sourcing Business, we have a pathway where you can learn content writing for free. All you need to do is just look on the, on the slide going on on your screen. You see the website. Go ahead and register. You can join the new stream, absolutely free. Okay. And Gabriel Emmanuel said, Bandele says that I'm a freelancer too, specialized in blog posts and SEO articles. We could team up if you don't mind. Ngozi Favor, are you up for that?
That's fine. What is his name again? Okay, Gabriel.
Oh, his name is Bamidele.
Yes, okay, I've seen it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine. You can just send me a message on LinkedIn.
Okay, great. That's it. That's how we do it here. All right, to move on to other questions. Now, you've talked about how you went to a class to actually learn more about this type of writing. Now, being someone who is a literary lecturer, writing is basically all you do. Basically, all you do. Now, is it safe to say that creative writers are born? You can't learn it if you don't have it. You know how they say those things, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Is it safe to say that creative writers are born?
Well, I would say no, they are not born. Like, I've been teaching creative writings to students from year 1 to final year, and I can say that they are not born. Someone can wake up one day and say, okay, oh, since probably JAM did not give me score for law, let me go for English language. And when the person comes to your class, or probably when the person comes to your class, you have to make the person know that, understand that you can learn this thing. It's not in anybody's blood. Like, you can actually learn creative writing. It's very simple.
That means we have hope. That means I have hope then.
Exactly. Anybody can write. Like, I have an instance. I like teaching instances. When I was writing in 2018, I had this very smart student. He's actually a science student. So I had one blog post to write, but it was very technical and it was quite difficult. I had researched and researched. It was just too difficult, and I had a lot of things on my table. I had to call the guy. I called him, please come to my office. Can you write? The guy was like, hey, ma, I do write once in a while. I do some writing. I said, okay, see, look at this topic. I want you to help me do something on it. And to my greatest surprise, within 2 hours, this guy came up with something, and it was great. I was like, so anybody can write. This guy is a science student. He's not even an art student, but he attended one of my general courses. So the guy was able to do it. This student was able to do year 1 student, and he was able to do it. I was like, wow, this is very good. So anybody can write. I believe that anybody can write. Once you have the passion, and then you put in your mind to it, this is what I want to do, then you're good to go. I started writing since, but I still had to enroll in a course to learn more. And I'm still buying courses on content writing. You can't know it all. That's just the truth. So you must upscale, and then you must upskill. So you have to continue learning. So anybody can write. So long as you have the passion for writing, you can do it. Just go for it.
Wow. That's amazing. And so then, for someone who has the desire and don't know where should they begin? How should they start?
If you don't know how, first things first, I always say this: follow who know road. Yes, you should have a coach. That's the first things first.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
you should have a coach, and then buy courses. Read. You have to read. You have to write. You read to write. You write to read. So you have to research. So if you have that zeal or the passion to start writing, please start writing. Even if it's a journal, even if it's a one sentence, you wake up one day, every day, each day you wake up and write. It matters. It counts. Then first things first, follow who know road. That's my slogan. You need to have a coach. You need to have someone you're looking up to. You need to have someone that is guiding you on what to do, on how you're going to do this. You can't do it alone. So you need to have someone. You need to look at other people in that particular niche or whatever field you want to go into, and then see how they are doing it. It's either you're following them and then you're invisible, or you meet them one-on-one and then you converse with them, and then they give you their strategies. They tell you tips and tell you how they have been doing it, and then you're good to go. But if you feel you can actually do tumbum, that's still okay.
Okay. All right. So more going on to more questions that we got. So once you've gone through the process, you've gone through the course, you're learning, you're researching and doing all this. When it comes to uploading your gig on a platform, say like Source in Business, for example, how would a creative writer determine their fee? How do you charge? How do you know what to charge, especially for someone who's starting for the first time?
Well, I think that one is quite I would say it's quite personal. First things first, why are you going? I would ask you, why are you going into freelancing? That's the first question I ask anybody. Why are you going into freelancing? Is it going to be a full-time job, or is it going to be part-time? That is the first question I ask you, because that will determine how much time you want to give into this, how much time you want to put in into this work, because it's actually, writing is not that easy like people think. So I would first ask you, what are you going to do? Is it going to be full-time? Is it going to be part-time? Now, if it is full-time, then you have to understand that you have what's it called, you have things that you need to do with money. So you have to put in all those things into whatever cost you're going to charge a client. And then I also advise charging per project. Even though,
Okay.
as a beginner, as you're starting up, you can actually still charge per word. But it's always advisable to charge per project. That way, you put in the cost of whatever thing, probably the cost of NEPA bill, your light bill, your feeding, your accommodation. You know how to actually factor in all those things into that content you're writing, into that project you're going to actually work on. So it's best you go for per project. Okay, and then whatever fee you're going to charge is also determined by your experience. You don't start up today and then start charging $100 per 500 words or per 1,000 words. You're just starting. You must start from somewhere. You must actually start small. So if you're starting, you need to put a price that will not scare people away, and a price that will actually help you grow your portfolio, because that's the major thing. You need to grow your portfolio. And for you to grow your portfolio, you need customers, you need clients coming to you. So you don't need to put a very high charge and then you're scaring people away when when you're just starting. So for you to actually put a price to it, you must first of all know why you're going into freelancing, then get the experience. Depending on your experience level, your level of experience, it will also determine what you're going to charge for a particular project.
Now, while you were talking the other time, you mentioned that people think that writing is easy. What are the challenges of being a writer?
A lot.
Okay.
Sometimes you might want to write, and then there's what we call writer's block. Everything, like, it's as if you're actually empty. When you're not empty, you don't even find the right words to use. You don't find anything. And then there are some content, there are some topics, or there are some niches you write on, and then you won't find anything on the internet. You won't find anything to write on except probably the material that they've given to you. Like, I've been writing on some upcoming crypto projects, and these projects are actually on NDA. They are not online. You can't find them anywhere. What you're working on is just the white paper. So it's actually quite difficult to come up with content like that. You have to actually research. Probably you just have to know all these things before you can write them, because it's quite difficult. And then we also have other challenges like distractions, noise, and the rest. And probably what we are currently facing, light. These are also part of the challenges we face as a freelance writer. Yes.
Wow. That's amazing. Let's take a few quick questions. Khalib Fahad says, good morning to the sourcing team. We continue to support your worthy effort through this platform. Thank you, sir. We really do appreciate your constant support. We do appreciate it. This person also said from Justin. Justin says that I'd love to know more about this for the sake of the blog site. Okay. I'm not exactly sure. Justin, I'm not sure I understand your question. I'd like to know more about this for the sake of my blog. If you mean you want to know more about SEO, that is search engine optimization, you can take a course on sourcing business. It's free. You can take a course. It's absolutely free. So I believe I have answered your question. I believe so. And Ngozi Cynthia also says that I'm trying to register on the website, but it is taking me back to login, and I don't have an account because. Oh, okay. Cynthia, if you don't have an account, you need to create an account. That's the first step. You need to create an account first and go ahead and register. This is how it works. Okay. All right. Let's move on to other questions now. We've talked about search engine optimization. Now, how profitable is this? Say you've established yourself, you've gotten you're on the verge of getting your customers. How generally, based on your experience, how profitable is this?
Well, I would actually say it's quite profitable. Like I said earlier, it depends. Are you into this full-time or part-time? You get the amount of time you put in, the amount of results you get. It's that simple. If you write for a 500-word project, the amount you get is probably let's say you're charging per word, and then the amount you get is equivalent to 500 words. It won't be more than most times. Most times it won't be more than. So I would say freelance writing is actually profitable. You can make from $100 to $500 for a 1,000 word content, depending on the niche. Depending on the niche, because some are quite demanding and tasking than the others, while some are quite easy, something you can always see anywhere. And then it depends on your experience. Like I said before, it depends on your experience. So whatever worth you charge, whatever your worth is depending on your experience, and then the quality of the content. You see some clients who tell you that they will pay you based on the quality of your content. That is just the truth. They will ask you to send samples, send your portfolio, and then once they look at it, they grade you based on what you've written, and then they will tell you, okay, we can just pay $30 for this. We can pay $30 for 750 word content. They've actually looked at your portfolio and they've seen, okay, this is what this person can do, and then go ahead. If you're fine with it, then you actually get the job. Or if you're not, then you have to learn. You have to go up and then try to learn more so you can actually charge more. So that's just it.
Wow, that's interesting. Let's see if we can take more questions here. Oh, okay. All right. No more questions. Okay. Before we go, what are your thoughts on remote work, especially as Africans? Now, before we ask that question, I want to ask on that question. The pricing and the profitability of being a content writer, is it by chance dependent on location? Because yesterday I saw a post, a video, more like a vox pop, where a lady was asked what she did for a living, and she said she was a writer, content writer, but she was a content writer for something, and then she earned about, I think, $10 million a month. I'm not even joking. $10 million a month. So this is me asking: is it dependent on niche? Is it dependent on location? What is it dependent on?
Yeah, I forgot. As like I said niche earlier, location actually matters too. You see people in the US, you see people in developed countries, what they charge is higher than what people in underdeveloped countries or developing countries charge. Now, I have a client in Pakistan, and today, coincidentally, he messaged me, wanted me to do a work, he wanted me to do a project, and he was like, their economy is so bad and all that, the pricing is quite low, and I'm like, wow, people in Pakistan will actually rush to collect that offer. They would actually be happy to take that offer. But I said, no, I can't work with this. It's actually quite low. It's very, very low. So pricing and the profitability depends on the location, hugely depends on the location. And it's not nice. It's not nice at all because the same energy, the same content to give out is the same thing that these people, even more than, you see them, they will say, we need native writers, we need non-native writers. Are you a native writer? The same way you're going to write is the same way we're going to write, if not better. So I don't see why it should be like that, but that is just the way it is. People over there, they charge way more, they get paid way more than people in developing and underdeveloping countries. So that's just the truth.
So, is it safe to say that it's so much better for the creative writer to be specialized on a particular niche? Is it safe to say that? So we'll only do something on medicine, like on medical line, or maybe we want to just write on sports or something. Is it possible? Is it safe to do that?
Yes, it's actually very safe. Like, I would say it's the best thing to do, but there's always a
Okay.
but. If you're starting up, if you're starting up, you just have to generalize.
Okay.
Just have to generalize so you know
Okay. Okay. We seem to have a glitch. The connection seemed to be having a problem. So I'm just going to take a few questions and see if we even have any. Okay. Okay. Dayo, thank you so much for that. Ngozi, you need to, like I said, you need to. Okay. Ngozi, I believe it's possible to get a full-time job on content writing for a company. I believe it is. I believe it's possible, and we're just going to wait for the connection to ease up a little so that our guests can respond to that. But this is the question from my perspective. Why? Okay. Okay. You're back. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm back. Sorry, I had a call.
Oh,
Yes, I
okay.
can hear
Okay.
you. I can hear you.
Okay. All right. We have a question from Cynthia, and she says that is it possible to get a full-time job on content writing for a company? If yes, how is it done?
Okay. Cynthia, it is possible. That's what I'm doing. Like I told you, if you started with in Port Harcourt, so it is very possible to be a full-time content writer for a particular company. And how is it done? It depends on what the company wants you to do for them. I create web page content. I write on app development content. I write on website content. I create content
Sincerely apologize for that. The connection was just a little bit crazy.
Okay, I'm so sorry for the break.
We're back.
Yes, I'm so sorry for the break. Okay, please.
Yeah. Okay. So where were we? Yes, we're responding to Cynthia's question. She's asking, I want to choose a career path. Okay, she was saying, is it possible to get a full-time job in writing for a company? If yes, how is it done? How can it be done?
Yeah, I said yes, it's possible because that is what I'm doing. So it's possible since I can do it, anybody can. And then how can it be done? It depends on what the company wants you to do, what your job description is. Like for the company I work for, I create content on the web page, app development content. I create content on email letters, newsletters, blog posts. So it depends on. I even proofread articles or proofread anything before it is being sent out. I go through them and then make sure they are okay before they send it out. So it depends on the job description, what they want you to do. I create content for social media too. So it depends on what they want you
Okay.
to do. So you ask, can I
Mm,
be a visual assistant and a content writer? Well, um, I think visual assistant is actually quite different. It's a different field on its own. It's different from content writing. But you can still create content as a visual assistant and also do both. You can do both, but they're actually two different fields.
okay.
So you might want to
Okay.
actually do one and then you might actually want to choose one
Okay.
and then be an expert in one.
Mm. Okay, so now that we are out of that question, what do you have to say to people who want to venture into freelancing? What advice do you have for them?
Okay. The first things first is I would say the door is open. It's actually very open. Opportunities are out there for you to grab as much as you can. Okay. So, but you need to have, like I said before, you need to have a coach. It's very simple. You need to have someone that you are looking up to. You need to have someone that is directing you so you don't make so much mistakes, so you don't waste time and also waste money. So you need to have a coach and then also have a very good working relationship with your client. As a freelancer, even though you're working as a boss on your own, you are still not you're not you're actually not a boss if you look at it somehow. You're actually not a boss because your client will determine probably the deadline for projects, what they want you to do, and all that. So you need to have a very good working relationship with your client, and then learn to connect with other freelancers in your niche and outside your niche because the world is big enough and they are not your enemies. Other content writers are not your enemies. You need to build a relationship with them. You need to connect with them. Okay, don't see them like, this person is trying to drag clients with me. No, you need to build a very good relationship with other freelancers like you in your niche because these are people that would actually probably recommend you to someone anytime they get the opportunity. So you need to have a very good relationship with them. That's just
Mm.
what I would say.
Okay, Cynthia is asking, I want to choose the two of it as my career path full time. All right, Cynthia, I think that's a wonderful choice that you decided to make. Just go on to sourcing.business, all the pathway, the things you want to know, that is content writing, as virtual assistant. The courses are there. You can take them for free, and of course, you can start up your career. All right. Before I let you go, now, what are how do you see African freelancers in Africa? How do you basically see African freelancers, how they're performing in the remote workspace?
Well, I would actually say we've been doing great because during the pandemic, we didn't even know that we could actually teach online. We didn't know that we could actually teach students on. So I would say that working remote should be embraced. We should embrace remote working or remote work for business, for African businesses, any business at all. For instance, now people are actually doing businesses and they are making millions. They are making a lot of money from it. So why can't we do remote works? Why can't we do remote jobs? Stay in your house and do your job, so long as you are dedicated, and then you assign your roles and then know when you're supposed to do this, when you're supposed to do that. So it's fine. It's still going to be the same productivity you're going to get if you were in an office and if you were working from home or from on top of a tree, as long as there's network there. That's it.
Wow. We've had a great time conversing with you today, Chineye Favor. Thank you so much for all of the nuggets you've given to us and the path that you have, paved for us. You've taught us so many things. I mean, having a 9 to 5, still being a content writer, specializing on search engine optimization is such an amazing job. And of course, Ngozi, thank you too. Thank you so much, Chineye Favor. I really do appreciate you and for all that you have done. Okay, it's still upskilling 5 million African freelancers in 5 years. If you want to register on a pathway, that is, you want to learn a particular course, you want to learn some more, just go on to sourcein.business to register. You can also register as a freelancer if you want to have access to employers. You want people to see your gig and hire you for a job. You still can upload your gig on sourcein.business. If you want to learn, you still can learn through various, on various courses we got on sourcein.business. My name is Oge Mark, and I thank you so much for staying tuned. I'll be back on Wednesday next week at 10 a.m. Bye. See you, and God bless you. Yeah.
My name is Femi Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of Sourcing Business. Sourcing Business is an online platform where freelancers and employers of labor are able to connect in order to exchange value. The platform gives freelancers opportunity to be able to create their gigs, showcasing what they can offer to organizations, the solutions they can provide, and especially services they can offer, virtually. Startups are actually looking for skilled professionals like these who are able to help them deliver their job, cheaper, who are able to help them deliver their job faster, and who are able to help them deliver their job with better quality. And these are the capabilities that you found in freelancers. And so Sourcing Business provides a platform where such people are able to offer their gigs so that startups and small business owners around the world can be able to access them to be able to buy their services. On Sourcing Business, we'll